Okay. Well, my name is Penelope Lisenby. I was born in South Africa and I came to Germany over 30 years ago. And I have been a teacher since 2003. It's 20 years that I've been teaching full time. I first started teaching English as a foreign language, and about 15 years ago, I started teaching German as a foreign language, as I now have 3 teaching subjects. My teaching subjects are English, German, and social sciences. After I did a second study to get my 3rd teaching subject, which is German, I went to Afghanistan with the German government, and I was teaching German in Afghanistan for 5 years. After that, I went back to Germany for another 2 years. And then I decided to go to China. And there I was teaching German in universities, for the last 5 years. I came back to Germany now in summer. On the 1st of July, I came back to Germany. And I have become an online German teacher. So I teach at the moment. I have a course teaching Ukraine refugees coming to Germany. And I teach them 3 times a week for 8 hours a day. I teach them German.
Okay. It is wonderful that it's good to know your good experiences in teaching background. May I know what is this German course actually?
What is a German course? Well,
Right.
It depends what level I'm teaching. You know, it can be, I teach from A1 to C1. So if I'm teaching a A1 student, of course, it's more vocabulary, teaching them basic sentences, teaching them to understand basic sentences and questions. And depending from B1.2, B2, I start teaching students how to present themselves in the German language. Either they are looking for a job in different sectors, mostly IT, they could be looking for a job as an engineer or so on. And then I teach them to present themselves and to apply for jobs, and also just to keep up in the working place. So those can be all different ways of teaching a German course.
Okay. So, could you please explain what kind of skills are required to become a professional? Please provide some insight so that our participant would be able to know, would be able to gain those skills.
Well, you don't really need many skills. The thing is, you need motivation, right? You have to know why you want to learn the German language. And once you know why you want to learn the German language, if it's just, some people just need an A1 certificate to get a visa. So if we are looking at the A1 certificate to just get a visa, people will need to be able to understand. So they will have to practice their listening skills. They will have to practice their basic speaking skills. They won't have to write. The writing skills are not that important, but basically they have to learn to listen and to speak, and also, So those would be the main skills. Continuing from B1, they will need all the skills. They will be able to, or they will have to be able to listen and understand. They will be able to read and write answers. They will be able to, or they will have to want to speak, because speaking is, of course, the integral part of a language. Everything that you learn in a language will lead you to speaking. So that is what you basically want to do. You want to speak, but before you can speak, you have to learn the other skills or use the other skills. So those are basically what I'm saying, is that all the skills you need, the 4 basic skills, listening, reading, speaking, writing, all aims towards speaking.
Okay, like Penelope, like what do you think? What would be the success mantra for them?
Learning the vocabulary.
All right.
Well, that's even more important in a language like German or French or Spanish or Italian, because the words are just totally different from the language of the learner. So if you don't learn the vocabulary and the according article, because German has 3 different articles, you cannot progress.
All right. So, what will you advise regarding to the course?
Well, first of all, I would advise you to know what you want to do with a language, right? You just learning a language for fun. Many people do that, of course, but nowadays people use German is a money-making language, right? So we have to realize with German, we are either going to save money or we're going to make money. So taking that into regard, you have to be very motivated, because if it's a money-making language or it's a money-saving language, you are also going to have to spend money to learn the language. So that's very important to realize, you know. So once you have the realization of what you want to do with the language, then of course your motivation will be higher. Right? And once you have the motivation, everything that comes with the language is automatic, right? You take in everything that the teacher gives you. You know, I've just taken, I've just done a 3-month course with Ukrainian refugees, and I started with A1. And because they were so motivated to learn the language, all of them passed their B1 test after 3 months, right? So the motivation was very, very high, because for them, it was a matter of getting a job. And without the German language, you cannot get a job here, right? So that's what I'm saying. You know, you have to know why you want to learn the language.
Exactly. So, what has been your experiences in German language working as a consultant in Hindi education? As you mentioned, you have experience of like 20 years, right? So,
yes.
could you please share your experience with Hindi education?
Oh, I've worked on teacher, you know, teacher training, teaching teachers on how not just to do frontal teaching, you know, just standing in front of the class and making the students repeat, because that's a very bad way of teaching. And then I've also developed curriculums for different projects that I've worked on. And I've developed German after-school programs, you know, either a little theater group in German where students could learn a play, and after a few months we were able to present the play, or they learn a German song, you know, they love the music of Rammstein. So what we've done already is we've also made videos our Rammstein shows, and it was much fun. So that's another thing, you know, you have to bring the fun factor into learning a language as well. And then I develop projects or you know, things like that to make the language interesting, because German's a lovely language.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Penelope, for sharing such a good experiences with us. And it was nice talking to you. It was nice having you in this session.
Well, I'm very glad to be here, and I hope I can motivate some students to join our school, and I will try my best at teaching them the language.
Right, absolutely, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, have a nice day. Bye.
Same